All right, welcome everybody. We're excited to talk with you today. I know some people are still joining us, but we'll take a minute to welcome everyone. We're going to be talking today about our web development certificate and our web design professional concentration. I'm going to start with some introductions. So your main contact for the program is Elizabeth Price, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, but Liz will be available to answer questions in the future and help guide students into the correct pathway for their career goals. I am Joanna Siebert, and I am the Associate Director of our Business and Technology programs here at UC Davis Extension. We have a couple of folks joining us today. We're really glad to have them here. One of them is Marissa Perez, who has been working on this program for quite a while, and she'll be providing some information about the certificate and the professional concentration and the courses that make up those pathways. Later on, we'll also hear from William Mead, who is one of our instructors and has been working with us very closely on developing a new course that launches this spring, User Interaction Design for the Web. Bill also worked with us previously on developing our web design and production course, and we've been really lucky to work with him over the years and have a great relationship with him. He teaches at a number of campuses, including UC Davis. So Marissa, why don't you get us started by sharing some good news with our information session participants?
Hi, thank you everyone for attending today. So first of all, as you may have seen on our website, we have a $100 coupon that you can use for your first course in the program. This is a one-time use code that we will give you after today's information session. So stay tuned for that, and you'll receive an email at the end again with the code for you.
So to start us off, let's take a look at our agenda for this call. The first thing that we'll talk about is just a little bit of an introduction to UC Davis Extension. And then Marissa will share some information about our web development certificate program and our web design professional concentration. Then we'll do a little bit of a course spotlight on our new course, as I mentioned, User Interaction Design for the Web. Bill will share some information about that, and you'll have a chance to ask him questions. And then we'll segue back into some career trends for this field and services we offer. We'll talk about the program discounts that are available to you and provide some information on how you can finance your education. And then we'll end the session with some Q&A, so you'll have a chance to ask us some questions. And anything that we're not able to answer today on this session, we will be happy to follow up with you at a later date. So we definitely want to encourage you to participate in this session and keep it as interactive as possible. On your screen right now, you should see some icons. So let's test them out. What we'd like to know is how many of you have taken a course here at UC Davis Extension. So you should see a green check mark for yes or a red X for no. Let us know if you've taken a class here at Extension before. And as those are coming in, I will also share that you can raise your hand if you have a question, or you can submit questions through the chat feature. And we might answer some of those questions as they come up, but as I mentioned, we'll have some designated question times. The question specifically for Bill right after he talks about our new UI course, and then also at the end after we've provided more information about program discounts and financing, you can ask us questions about the program in general. So we want to make sure that it's working for everybody, so make sure that you chime in and answer either yes or no on whether you have taken a course at UC Davis Extension before.
Okay, so unfortunately it looks like the interface isn't working right now, but some of you are utilizing the chat feature. So so it's been a mix. So we have some that have taken courses with us before, and for many of you, this is going to be the first time taking a course with us. So welcome.
Yeah, we're really excited to have everybody here. So we'll start off and we'll share a little bit of information then about UC Davis Extension. We really consider ourselves the lifelong learning arm of UC Davis, and we provide high quality continuing and professional education. Our aim is to deliver courses and programs that help professionals change or advance their career. And in order to develop and deliver those courses, we work closely with faculty at UC Davis, as well as professionals in the field. All of our courses in the web development and design program have received academic approval from the computer science department at UC Davis. At Extension, we have a long tradition of service, and we really actively partner with professional communities, both here locally and nationally, to create opportunities for our students. In the web development program, we have many students who are looking for an entirely new career. In fact, this program was really designed for people who don't have previous experience with coding. So you can come in from any career background and you'll learn key skills one at a time, and then by the end of the program be able to create some pretty sophisticated projects. And while many of our students have a bachelor's degree already, that's definitely not a requirement. So now we would like to do a little bit of a poll and have you tell us a little bit about yourself. Why are you interested in, sorry, let me get to the right screen. Why are you interested in this program? Are you currently working in the web development or design field and looking to advance your skills? Are you looking for a career change? Are you just interested in expanding your learning? Do you need a certificate for your job? Did somebody recommend this program to you, or is there a different reason that you might have heard about our program and be interested in taking it? So it looks like so far the majority of our participants are really looking for a career change. It's at 80% right now, which is pretty impressive. We also have some folks who are just really interested in continuing to learn and grow, and a few people who are looking to advance their career, their skills within their current field of web development or design. And then at least one person who's here for another reason, and we'll be really interested as we get to know you to hear what that is that has brought you here today. Okay, so Marissa's going to tell us a little bit about the online tools that we use to deliver our courses.
So we have two online learning tools that we use. Our courses are held on Canvas. This is where all the courses will be. And you'll be using this. It's a very user-friendly platform that we've recently switched to within the last couple years. And then the program that we're using today, Zoom, the web conferencing system, we'll be using that as a way for instructors to speak with their students and help with video. And also for our user interaction design for the web course, part of our web design professional concentration, we'll be utilizing Zoom for our weekly sync session. So that's where your lecturer and we'll be able to have time with the instructor and fellow students to go over that week's topics and content. Sorry, get to the next. There we go. Sorry about that. So first we're going to talk about our Web Development Certificate Program. All courses are fully online and instructor-led. There are 5 courses, and we launched this program in 2014. Courses for this program are asynchronous, so what that means is you are able to access the course content at a time that's convenient for you. But keep in mind that lessons are released weekly. They're released every Wednesday, so it's important to keep up with weekly lessons, readings, and assignments. And while the web development program is asynchronous, I'd just like to mention, and we'll go into this a little more when we discuss the web development, or excuse me, web design professional concentration, that we will be offering an asynchronous course, so we would be having weekly lectures and lessons. And we'll go over that, like I said, a little more. So this particular program is designed to teach you skills that will allow you to know the fundamentals of coding. And these skills are very important because as technology changes, these basic principles will not, and you will always need those, and they will help you adjust to any skills that you may need. And while we have the full program, which you can complete within 5 years, you may also wish to take courses individually, so you can as well. But we just really want to emphasize the point that this is a foundational program that teaches the essentials and underlying skills that are needed to do web development professionally through hands-on coding.
All right, so Marissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about the objectives for this Web Development Certificate program?
So the key learning objectives, you're going to be gaining and understanding hands-on experience. So in the Web Development Certificate program, we're going to cover the following. So we're going to cover HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. You're also going to learn how to develop a database to use SQL, and that's going to help connect that database to your web applications. Like mentioned previously, we'll be using hands-on coding, and that will teach you the underlying programming skills you will need to keep pace with technology as it changes. So we really like to stress the fact that you're going to be doing lots of coding yourself, and you're going to learn what you need to become a proficient web developer. In addition to learning coding skills and languages and principles, you will also learn some non-technical skills, and this will help you in your career as you work and collaborate with others in your professional environment. So here are the required web development courses. Like I mentioned earlier, there are 5 of them. So we have creating functional websites, web programming with JavaScript. We also have server-side scripting with PHP, database design, development, and management, creating web applications with AJAX, and that's going to be our capstone course. When taken in this particular order, these courses will layer off of each other and really help prepare you for the following courses. So let's talk about creating functional websites. This is a 3 academic unit course. Prepare to spend about 4 to 6 hours a week on this course. That's pretty much the standard for all of the courses within this program. And in this, you're going to design and build your own professional static web page. You're going to learn how to code using your own code editor in HTML. And you're going to build a 10-page website that is going to have lists and menus. While it will be static, it's going to be designed to deliver information. So that's kind of the first step with web programming. The next one, our next course, is a JavaScript course. And that's going to be web programming with JavaScript. And again, this is a 3-unit course. You'll see all of the courses within this program are 3 units. In this course, you're going to be able to create a usable and interactive page, and it's going to be able to respond to the web browser and allow you to do user input. We will teach you the most efficient ways to code in JavaScript and how the mechanics of looping in functions and form processing. You'll also be able to work on debugging techniques and teach some tips for finding and correcting incorrect code. So this is going to be where we're going to start to show you more of a dynamic web page. Next, we're going to have server-side scripting with PHP. This is where you're going to begin to really create a dynamic page. So server-side scripting with PHP will begin to create a dynamic web page. And you will learn how to connect the front end of your website to the server and what is needed for the two to communicate effectively. You'll also be discovering, looking into syndication and how you can get your product visible on the web. Next is going to be the Database Design, Development, and Management course. In Database Design, Development, and Management, you'll learn how to construct a data model and how to conceptualize how that data will go from one source to another and how it will be handled in between. You'll be able to code effective and useful SQL statements to control the communication between the database and the website. And this course then will lead you to our capstone course. Creating web applications with AJAX is the capstone course for the program. AJAX is an acronym. It stands for Asynchronous, JavaScript, and XML. Here you're going to take all of the languages and technologies that you've previously learned and bring them together. This will allow you to create a highly interactive web content. The final project is going to be something that we'd really like you to use for your portfolio. It's going to be something that we would hope would become a core element, and it's going to be something that you can share to show the skills that you now know. It's just a great way to demonstrate that to potential employers or clients.
So now Marissa's going to tell us a little bit about the Fast Track, which is a great opportunity that we offer students for this particular program.
So this is something we started with in the last year. This is our Web Development Fast Track. Normally our courses are $825 each, but by paying upfront, you receive a 15% discount off the entire program. And the declaration of candidacy fee, which is $125, is waived by paying upfront. While the program can be completed in 9 months, it is not recommended for everyone. Your academic path should really be determined by your readiness and experience in web programming. You'll really want to work with your academic advisor, Elizabeth Price. She will help you create a path that works best for you. So now we're going to talk about the Web Design Professional Concentration. This is a 4-course professional concentration. And again, all courses carry academic credit and were approved by the UC Davis Computer Science Department. There are 12 units total for this, so 120 hours. And you'll also notice as we discuss the professional concentration that 2 courses are the same as the certificate. So the required courses, so like we had mentioned earlier, there's going to be creating functional websites, web programming with JavaScript, so we touched on those already. And excuse me, sorry about that. I lost my train of thought there. Those 2, so we've touched about them already. They're going to be key components to the Web Design Professional Concentration. And you'll also find that they are either prerequisites or highly suggested prerequisites for taking this PC. So go ahead and start discussing those. So while we touched on creating functional websites and web programming with JavaScript, we're going to go ahead and jump into web design and production. This course will focus on best practices for website production and design theory. And you'll learn how to create and use responsive web design, and you'll focus on front-end design and development. It is important, though, that to note that creating functional websites is a mandatory prerequisite for this course. And next, we're going to talk about user interaction design for the web. This is our new course to this series. It will start on May 23rd. And like web design and production, creating functional websites is a prerequisite for this course. And both JavaScript and web design and production are highly recommended. Bill Mead, who has been working with us to develop the course, will be teaching this course this spring. And we'd like to invite him to share more about this course and about himself. After that, we will take some questions that you may have specifically for Bill. Bill, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm really excited about this course and to be able to teach it for UC Davis Extension. As it was mentioned earlier, I've been teaching at a number of the different colleges in the Sacramento area, and this is one of my favorite types of courses to teach. Unlike the HTML and CSS and JavaScript classes, this particular course doesn't have a coding component. I do teach a lot of classes that involve coding, but this particular course is about design. There are a lot of really great tools that are emerging, and this field is really hopping right now. It's often frequently referred to as UI, UX, user interface, user experience. And we'll be looking a lot at the principles behind what makes an experience good for users. And it's a really important set of skills to develop in terms of building anything for the web or for other digital products, whether you're talking about applications for the computer or mobile applications.
Okay, so we'll give you guys just a couple minutes here if you guys have any specific questions for Bill. Here's one. So I understand this course of study focuses on coding and programming. When you're doing I'm sorry, Bill, now when we're going to be doing specific UI aspects, will you be focusing on ideas such as writing or script writing or storyboarding to help develop the web page?
Yeah, we will be working on creating prototypes and using several different, looking at some different tools for doing that. Most popular tools these days are InVision app by the people over at InVision. But Adobe XD is also a really great prototyping tool, and there's some other tools that are coming out quickly that will help us sort of think about what the user experience is and how to sort of map out those experiences.
Okay, great. Bill, do you have any suggestions also for students who may be looking for freelance opportunities or things that you've discovered in your career that have helped, how web design has really helped promote that?
There is a ton of opportunities in the industry that range from freelance, working for yourself, or in a very small team, to contract work, which is when you're hired as part of a team for a short period of time, to full-time employment. There's a very broad range of opportunities, but the field of both design and development are frequently growing, and it's just a very exciting time to be involved in this field.
And Bill, I have another question coming in. And what kind of software would students want to use, or maybe have a little bit of experience with before taking this course? With, of course, they would have the previous experience from the previous courses, but is there anything that you would really recommend that would help them expand on their knowledge in web design?
It's really helpful to have a working understanding of Photoshop and or Illustrator. Those are really helpful tools. If you've worked some with InDesign, that can help. Some of the prototyping tools that are coming out, if you don't have experience with those, some of the new prototyping tools that are coming out have kind of a more limited tool set and are a little bit easier to learn. You can learn Photoshop and Illustrator for the rest of your life. They have a huge tool set in there for a very wide range of uses, of which designing for digital products like the web or for mobile devices is just one potential use. But some experience with those tools and using those tools will help.
Great. Bill, I'm wondering about something I imagine students would be curious about. Marissa mentioned that your course will have the live sync sessions, which is different from some of the other courses in these programs. How do you plan to use that time to interact with students? What are you anticipating they might experience when they log in for these live sessions?
The live sessions are really going to be a time for us to work together as a group and review work. One of the things that's different about classes where you're working on code and making products function is it either works or it doesn't work. You type in the code and you develop your skills at sort of solving those problems, and it either functions or it doesn't function. With design, there's a lot more need to discuss your process and your end goals, and those kinds of experiences are really important to help improve design. Design is very difficult to do in a vacuum, if not impossible. And I've taught online design classes before, and it's really hard to get quality design in an asynchronous environment where you can't have the live conversation about what that quality looks like and be working together.
Great. And what are you most excited about, Bill, as you look ahead to teaching this course? What are you really looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to seeing what the people who enroll in UC Davis Extension bring to the course. I think that, I've worked at a number of different schools, and one of the issues, one of the things that comes up is when you're working with students who are coming from diverse backgrounds, who have different types of work experience, bring a very broad range of experiences into the course. And that's very exciting. I think it provides a great opportunity to understand problems and design from a different perspective.
Great. Thank you. And I think that's all we have time for right now. But if we have other questions that come in for later, for Bill later on, we'll have Elizabeth Price work with Bill to get answers to those questions. So thank you so much, Bill, for all of your work on the course. We're really excited about this and for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing everybody there.
All right.
Thank you, Bill.
So as Bill mentioned, this is really a growing field, and we see a lot of demand for professionals who have skills in these areas. And in addition to the growth and the demand for those skills is an increase in salaries that's really outpacing most other industries. So six-figure incomes are becoming more common across most of these positions, not just high-level manager or administrator positions. And the salaries are even higher for those who possess really sought-after specialized skills. When we do research frequently on what employers are looking for, some of the skills that we see, or the program language experience that we see as being in high demand, are SQL, is mentioned in nearly 50% of all IT job postings, as well as Java and JavaScript. So all of those are going to be addressed in the web development certificate program. The other thing that we know is that there are some really in-demand non-technical skills that our programs can help prepare students for, such as providing opportunities to communicate effectively, troubleshoot, solve problems, and engage in teamwork and collaboration. When we look at surveys of professionals in this field, what we see is that they are overwhelmingly satisfied with their work. These positions in these fields tend to give a great work-life balance that many other careers do not provide, and people are highly sought after by headhunters. So what we hear are, for our students coming out of our programs, that employers are often really impressed by the strength of our students' portfolios and their preparation to work in web development. So we also, as part of our educational offerings, have partnered with TEK Systems for those, so when our students or graduates are looking for job opportunities in the IT field, we often send them that way, and they can work with their staff to see what opportunities are out there. So now Marissa is going to talk about a little bit more about the discounts that are available to people as they enroll in our courses.
So like we had mentioned, the cost of each course is $825, and if you choose to enroll in the fast track, you would save 15% off the entire program. While these prices also do not include the cost of textbooks. Textbooks for each course, they do range in price, but you're able to purchase your textbooks from a distributor of your choice. So let's go over the discounts. So we have a $50 off early enrollment discount, and this is if you enroll in a course 2 weeks, with at least 2 weeks prior to the start date. So you will save $50 off for that course. We also offer a $50 discount for members of the Cal Aggie Alumni Association. We have a 10% off group discount, so that's if you enroll 3 or more people at one time into a course, you'd save 10% off that. I mentioned there's the 15% off fast track discount. And then for attending today's information session, we will send you a discount code for $100 off on a future course. Our discounts, however, are not stackable, so you would only be able to use one per course, and we will work with you to determine which discount will be best for you while you enroll in your courses. So next we're going to talk about financing your education. This is a slide, which is Diane Carr. She's our Student Services Liaison. If you're interested in financing your education, I recommend contacting her. She'll be able to help you with educational loans or eligible training funds, such as Workplace Disabilities Act for displaced workers, Veteran Educational Benefits, so the GI Bill, or any other applicable job training funds. So if you have any questions in regards to financing education, you'll want to contact Diane.
Great, and now we'll take some questions.
So one question we have are, what are the locations of TEK solutions? Where are they available? And can they help in any location or just Northern California?
That's a great question. I don't know that we know. I believe that it is widely available, but that is something that we could follow up with you. So just make sure that we have your information and we'll follow up with you on an answer for that.
And will SEO be explored in any of these courses? So you'll likely touch on SEO in our PHP course when you're discussing syndication and how you can elevate your website. But as for it would be in a very generalized manner, not as a focused SEO. Something, if you are interested in SEO, we do have an SEO specialization on Coursera.org that will really go into how you can elevate websites. It's a 5-course series, so if you ever have a chance, you can go look at that. Okay, so the next question is, would you recommend the course to current full-time UC Davis students, and how manageable is it? It really, to answer that question, really goes back to what your workload is with your current full-time classes. Each course in the web development and web design program, we will, on average, you'll spend 4 to 6 hours a week. So if you have the time with your current workload and can add additional 4 to 6 hours, then it is manageable. So it really goes down to the individual person and how much time they have to allocate to this.
Yeah, and I would add, most of our students are working professionals, so they're working full-time, so that kind of gives you some comparison. And then if you do have questions, you're welcome to contact Elizabeth Price. We'll share her contact information at the end. And she could really work with you on the timing of those courses. You might want to start with just one course at a time if you're taking a full load at UC Davis or another institution.
Okay, so for the next question, for the web development courses, is there any collaboration among students, or is it mostly independent work? So the majority of the work is independent. However, if you choose web design, the user interaction course will have more collaboration between students with the sync sessions that we will offer. For web development, though, the majority of your coursework and projects will be done independently.
Yeah, we do encourage our students to interact with each other and to provide support and provide resources and that kind of thing to encourage each other. So you do have that opportunity to connect with people. But as Marissa mentioned, it is designed to try to give you as much flexibility in your schedule as possible.
Okay, so we have another one. Are there computer operating system requirements for the web development courses? So on our website, we do have a little blurb on what you want to have minimum working web requirements. So at least, I believe it's Windows 8 is a minimum requirement. If you have a Mac, we also offer resources in our courses for code editors in particular that you would want to use that are specifically geared for Mac users. So in this program, we do have both PC and Mac users, and both are able to complete doing just fine. All right, so we have another one. How does this certificate program compare to those with a degree in computer science and have years of coding experience? And how competitive is this certificate to companies?
So I hear like two questions embedded in that. The first one is, how does this compare with a computer science degree? Is that how you understood it, Marissa?
Yes.
So, I mean, I think one of the things that's important is that because we are a continuing and professional education arm of the university, we try to really gear our courses towards working professionals. So, and we're really trying to focus each certificate program so that it addresses what exactly is needed. So obviously our academic requirements, it's not the length of a full computer science program, but I think it's really geared towards people who would be wanting to apply these skills directly into their careers. So I think it can be a really nice companion with a computer science degree. There might be some overlap, and we're always happy to, if you reach out to us, put you in touch with one of our instructors. You could talk about what your particular background is and how that fits with the program. And then I think there was a second question about how this program could help you with potential employers. And I think what we've really seen is that because you're in your courses really producing a portfolio of work that can be shared, that it's very compelling. We often hear that employers are impressed by how our students are able to converse about the principles and what they would do in terms of the problem solving. And so I think it provides a lot of opportunities for you to be able to demonstrate what you've learned in the program to potential employers.
And so we have a follow-up question about the fast track. It says the fast track route geared towards people who have experience in coding. So like we had mentioned, the program can be completed in as little as 9 months, and that's not necessarily for everyone. So the fast track program is a way in which you would pay for the program upfront, kind of as a bundle option where you'll save the 15% off, and then you'll want to work with your academic advisor, so Elizabeth Price, on a path that'll work for you. So whether that's taking one course a quarter so that you can really utilize how the courses scaffold off of each other. That's one way to do. If you already have experience in coding, then the 9-month path is something that you could look into. So it really boils down to how much experience you have and what schedule and what courses are offered, which we can create that path that'll work for you so that you can really get the most out of the program.
I think also another important consideration that Liz would work with you on is how much time does your schedule allow for you to really be learning and working at an accelerated pace.
And then here's a question. How long does each course last? That's a really good question. And sorry, we didn't mention that, but each course is 10 to 12 weeks. The majority of the courses, though, are on the 10-week side. So every week a new lesson is released, so you'd have 10 lessons and with a final project.
Okay, I think that's it for our questions. But again, if you think of additional questions later on, we really would love to hear from you. We have Elizabeth Price's contact information up on the screen, and you can also contact us through our website. You can enroll directly through our website as well. And we are always really interested to hear your feedback. So as we mentioned earlier on, you'll be getting a $100 discount code that you can apply towards enrolling in a course. And we always love your feedback on what you've heard today and what questions you still have or how we can help you make the right choice. So thank you everyone for being here. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.